The fiery mountains, the amazing world of volcanoes. Feel the heat of the fiery mountains and uncover the secrets of the amazing world of volcanoes. Wow, that's super cool! Volcanoes are some of the most exciting and sometimes a bit scary things on Earth. Are you ready to go on an adventure and find out what makes these fiery mountains explode? What is a volcano? A volcano is like a big hole in the earth where hot, melted rock, air, and ash can burst out. When this melted rock is hiding deep down, we call it magma, but when it bursts out of the volcano, it's called lava. The Earth's interior, which is super hot, like a fiery oven, creates the conditions that melt rock and generate magma, which can reach really high temperatures, between 700 and 1200 degrees Celsius. Wow! Can you picture what's happening under the ground? It's like water boiling in a pot, bubbling and splashing everywhere. So, why do volcanoes erupt? Imagine the magma is kind of like a balloon. It's lighter than the rocks around it and wants to float up. It pushes its way through cracks in the Earth's crust. This makes a lot of pressure, just like when you shake a soda can. When the pressure gets super high, boom! The volcano explodes and lets out hot lava, ash, and gas. So, how do volcanoes erupt? There are two main ways volcanoes can erupt: effusive eruptions and explosive eruptions. Way number 1, the effusive eruptions. This is when lava flows smoothly and steadily, usually from gentle volcanoes, like those in Hawaii and Iceland. Way number 2, the explosive eruptions. This is when everything goes wild, with lava and ash shooting high into the sky. This happens in steep volcanoes like Mount St. Helens or Mount Pinatubo. Now let's explore the main types of volcanoes. Volcanoes come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Let's check out 3 main types: shield volcanoes, stratovolcanoes, and cinder cone volcanoes. Type number 1. The shield volcanoes. These are like big rounded hills made from lava that flows easily. One big buddy is Mauna Loa in Hawaii, the largest active volcano on our planet. Type number 2. The stratovolcanoes, or the composite volcanoes. These volcanoes are tall and steep, made from layers of lava and ash. Awesome examples are Mount Vesuvius and Mount St. Helens. Type number 3. The cinder cone volcanoes. These are the smallest volcanoes and look like pointy hills made from ash and bits of rock. One famous one is Paricutin in Mexico, which appeared out of nowhere in 1943. Now let's explore the 3 types of volcanoes based on their activity. Just like how some people are always on the move, some volcanoes are active. But did you know that volcanoes can also be dormant or extinct? Let's find out what these terms mean. Type number 1, the active volcanoes. These volcanoes are like busy bees. They can erupt anytime. They've shown signs of activity recently, like hot lava or lots of earthquakes. Mount St. Helens and Kilauea in Hawaii are 2 examples of active volcanoes. Type number 2, the dormant volcanoes. These volcanoes are taking a long nap. They haven't erupted in a while, but they could wake up someday. It's like when you might be in a deep sleep, but could dream again. Mount Fuji in Japan is a famous dormant volcano. Type number 3, the extinct volcanoes. These volcanoes are like grandpas telling stories. They've been sleeping for a very long time and probably won't erupt again. They're all done. An example of an extinct volcano is the Scottish volcano, Arthur's Seat. Now you know the different types of volcanoes based on their activity. Isn't it fascinating to think about what's happening underground? And now, the Ring of Fire! Did you know there's a special circle full of volcanoes called the Ring of Fire? It goes all around the Pacific Ocean, where most of the world's volcanoes and earthquakes happen because the Earth's tectonic plates jiggle around there. There are about 1,500 potentially active volcanoes on Earth, and around 173 of them are in the United States. However, Indonesia has one of the largest concentrations of active volcanoes in the world, with around 147 volcanoes, many of which are active. Can you believe there are even volcanoes hiding under the ocean? Yes, there are. The hidden volcanoes under the water. Did you know that many volcanoes are hiding deep beneath the ocean's surface? These underwater giants are called submarine volcanoes, and they are super cool. In fact, about 75% of all the Earth's volcanic activity happens underwater. How wild is that? Let's dive into some incredible facts about submarine volcanoes. The formation. The submarine volcanoes come to life at places where the Earth's crust is cracking apart, especially along mid-ocean ridges. This is where tectonic plates, like puzzle pieces, are moving away from each other. Sometimes they form at hotspots, where the magma pushes up from deep inside the Earth, kind of like a fiery fountain. The eruptions. When submarine volcanoes erupt, the hot lava meets the freezing ocean water and cools down quickly. This creates all kinds of cool shapes and structures. Sometimes, these eruptions send huge clouds of volcanic ash, gas, and chunks of rock soaring up into the water, like an underwater fireworks show. The hydrothermal vents. Many submarine volcanoes are friends with hydrothermal vents. These special openings in the ocean floor let out super hot water packed with minerals. Even though it's dark and chilly down there, these vents create vibrant underwater neighborhoods filled with unique creatures that don't need sunlight to survive. The discovery. While scientists have found many submarine volcanoes, there are still so many more waiting to be discovered. Exploring underwater is really tough, but it's also super exciting. The Volcanic Islands. Sometimes, if a submarine volcano erupts a lot of lava and builds up enough, it can poke its head above the waves and become a volcano island, like the beautiful Hawaiian Islands. Submarine volcanoes are super important for understanding how our oceans work and play a big role in the Earth's wild story. All right, back on solid ground. Now let's dive into the exciting world of eruptions and their incredible impacts. While volcanoes can be super fascinating, they can also cause some trouble. Sometimes, volcanic eruptions make the air dirty, cause floods, and even create wildfires. People living near volcanoes can really feel the effects. Did you know that volcanoes release gases like water vapor, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide during eruptions? These gases can influence air quality and even affect the climate. But here's something cool. The ash from volcanoes can actually help plants grow better, like a special fertilizer. Volcanic soils are very rich and great for farming. So, what are the materials of the volcanoes? Volcanic eruptions produce all kinds of exciting materials too. Things like tephra, which are tiny fragments of volcanic rock, pumice, a light stone that can float, and volcanic ash can be found after an eruption. These materials can be used in construction, landscaping, and even to make some types of beauty products. Monitoring volcanoes versus possible eruptions. To keep people safe, scientists closely watch volcanoes to predict eruptions. They use tools like seismographs to measure earthquakes, GPS to observe ground movement, and gas analyzers that help detect volcanic gases. This way, they can help communities prepare for any possible eruptions. So, What is the role of volcanoes in our Earth's history? Volcanoes have played a big role in shaping our planet. They help form mountains and create new land, influencing how ecosystems thrive and change over millions of years. The life around volcanoes. You might be surprised to learn that some plants and animals have special adaptations to survive in volcanic areas. Unique ecosystems grow in places with hardened lava, where you can find special plants that can thrive in tough conditions. So what about the cultural significance? In many cultures, volcanoes are considered powerful. For example, in Indonesia, myths about volcanoes are part of everyday life. Throughout history, volcanoes have created big stories, like the explosion of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, which buried the towns of Pompeii and Herculaneum. And let's not forget about Krakatoa in 1883, the eruption of Eyjafjallajökull in 2010, or the powerful eruption of Mount Tambora in 1815, which caused the year without a summer. The conclusion. So, whether you think they're awesome or a little scary, volcanoes are an incredible part of our world. Scientists keep watching them closely to learn how they work and how to predict when they might erupt. Thank you for joining me on this fun adventure with volcanoes. Keep exploring and learning about the amazing world we live in. Want to uncover even more about the thrilling world of volcanoes? Then dive into our amazing and fun-filled learning resources. They're packed with exciting adventures, just waiting for you. And if you're eager for more exciting discoveries about the incredible world we live in, don't forget to check out our other fantastic documentaries. They're bursting with fun facts and adventures that will make you say, wow! Until next time, remember to stay curious and keep exploring. There's always something amazing waiting for you. Omimo Kingdom Adventures. The joy is just a click away.